up, you start your race. Hooray! Finally, it's your turn. The fireworks go off. You're running. It's already hot.
They're running. They're running.
You're still running. Fair warning, Disney races are a lot of roads. It's not like you're going to be in the Magic Kingdom the whole time, but it's still really cool. So there's characters all over the place. Like we were running like not even a full half mile yet before we saw like Pocahontas on a bridge that my mom thought was fake. My mom like has a real hard time acknowledging the characters. At one point she thought that some random guy was yelling at us, and it was a guy dressed like a toy soldier, but whatever.
I didn't figure that out till the next day.
So my sister wanted me to bring this up too about character lines. We have never once waited for a character, mainly because we're not fast runners. If you're in the earlier corrals, I feel like you're pretty safe to stop, but there is a time limit. You are required to run 16-minute miles.
Which sounds like a lot, but sometimes if you have to stop, plus you're really not walking far ahead. There's so many people ahead of you.
Right,
it's almost like a wall.
Yeah,
to run
essentially.
for. Oh, sorry.
So anyway, so we've never stopped. I mean, sometimes the character lines can be like really long, and I'm nervous. I said to my mom this time, like at the next half we do, if we get that into the end and you know you're not gonna get swept, I would like to stop just because we've never done it. But just fair warning, the lines are really long. The bathroom lines are also very long, depending on the race.
Especially at the very first maybe 5 miles or something, you know.
That was another thing my sister asked me to talk about was the bathrooms, and there's not a ton.
Not in that one.
Not in the Wine and Dine especially.
Right.
So we ran probably like 4 miles before we got to a bathroom. And the 10K we never ended up having to go, but like, I mean, sometimes you're, like I said, you're staying there for so long, like sometimes you already have to go to the bathroom, or some people, you know, have to go like when they run anyway. And so there's not a ton of bathrooms, just prepare yourself for that. And if you do get to one, there's a chance that there's probably going to be a line. So that's something to keep in mind for characters as well. Like if you think you're going to have to go to the bathroom, like that's kind of a line that you have to choose, like which should I do? Because sometimes if you're, and again, this all depends on your corral. If you're in the middle of corral, then you're probably fine to do both. But if, like for the Wine and Dine, we're in the last corral because we didn't submit a time, so we really didn't have like a ton.
We had a hustle.
We were almost swept. Water wise, I think that there's water.
I mean, a mile and a half.
2 miles.
Maybe, I can't remember.
Yeah, so not
a ton, but then you get Gatorade and other.
Yeah, so it's not just water. Actually, in the 10K, we never got anything but water, I don't think. But the longer races, you definitely can get Gatorade. You also, in the longer races, I think once we got to, like, the 20K, I think there was, like, they gave you, like, those gels that I was talking about, but, like, the packs that we don't drink or eat.
Or a ride. No, we didn't get the ride.
No. There's also, during the race, medical tents. That's something that's important. Obviously, if you have like a true emergency, like don't wait till the medical tent. There's tons of cast members all around, so if something happens, just stop and someone will help you. But there's medical tents, even at the 10K. It was right after the 5K mark, I remember. And it was like they had Vaseline, so if you are getting chafing, that's a good stop. They have stuff for your lips. They had Band-Aids. They had Advil, you know, like anything that you needed medically wise, they have that. And I'm pretty sure in the half they had that multiple times. What else? They also have mile markers every race, which are really cool. They play music. They're like themed. A lot of people like to take pictures with those. We did that last time too because it was a cool place. I don't think like you can like words can describe how cool it is when you actually get to the parks. Like like I said, prepare yourself. This isn't going to be all the parks, but when you get to one, it's really cool. Really fun. So the last race we started at Epcot, kind of like the parking lot, and then you went and it's all roads. There's a lot of hills, surprisingly, in these races as well. The first like 3 miles of that race was pretty much all uphill, which thankfully we train on hills. But if you don't, you're probably like, what is this? And then you go through the backstage area into Epcot, and it was so cool. Like, obviously there's no one there unless you're running in the half and you're as slow as us, and there's people there. Like, actually in the park.
And it's light out.
Yeah. Actually in the park. Funny side story. One time we were talking to this guy, and he's like, wasn't running through Animal Kingdom, which we did during the Wine and Dine, and during the dark so fun, and we're like, it was like bright as day.
Yeah. First he asked us what our time was. We didn't answer.
No. It was
It
slow.
was bright as could be in Animal Kingdom when we were there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But there's playing music. I don't know.
We made it in Epcot. My mom said we were gonna get a drink. Margarita. Of not water. It's so cool. And they're playing Mary Poppins Returns music. Hello. Hopefully I will return. Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Like that when we went through the boardwalk.
Now we're in the boardwalk. Oh yeah.
So we went back into Epcot, and that was really cool. The Princess is really cool when you're doing the full half marathon, the full half, and you get to run through the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's
and it's
cool.
only like a mile, but it's so cool.
And that was our first one we ever did.
Yeah,
So
there's
that was
tons of spectators. You get to run through the castle, which is really cool. Like the fairy godmother is there. It's just like no.
Fairy godmother.
You can't even like describe the feeling. I think that's what brings people back. You're like,
Yeah.
and in general, like there's tons of music. Like anytime there's a character that's gonna be music, sometimes there's just music playing randomly, and so you're not like, even though it's roads, like you're not necessarily bored either because there's a lot of stuff to look
There's
at.
so many people around, so much activity.
Unless you're running the wine and dine half, which we didn't really care for the group because you're running through the garbage. Remember?
There's nothing. I don't have a problem with that.
You run through like the waste plant, and everyone's like, what?
Unless you're rats.
Yeah.
That's
No, there's
okay.
no rats.
No, I mean,
Just
if you're
me.
a rat, you don't mind it.
Oh yeah. Alright, so my sister also suggested we talk about the difference between a Disney race versus any local race. And I mean, we talked about a lot of the stuff, how it's efficient. I think the pros are there are characters, there's tons of people around cheering you on, like
They're in
tons of
Disney.
yeah, tons of spectators. And I don't know, they just do like such a nice production of it. But I think the cons are getting up in the morning, which they have to do because A, it's super hot in Florida, so you have to start the race early, but B, I mean, the parks need to open at some point.
Yeah.
The other con is how crowded it is. And my mom already kind of mentioned this, but there are tons of people that do these races. I mean, they cut them off and there's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there are times, like specifically in this last race, where we were trying to run and you physically couldn't
can't
because
pass
there are
people.
so many people either like running slower than you or walking, and that's fine. And runner etiquette in theory is that you should move to the side if you're walking, but no one does that, which is whatever. That's fine. And I mean, that happens in most races, but most races you can like get around people. You just physically cannot because sometimes the pathways.
Oh, it's my turn.
Oh.
So you tend to do a lot of zigzagging.
Zigzagging,
And
yeah.
adding a little extra onto your
Yeah,
thing.
so I remember the one half. So our last one we were using.
I said excuse me.
I know a Garmin that was not super accurate, and so we ended up like it said that we ran like 9 miles or something. But I got a new one today, which we realized how inaccurate
And we don't like it.
our previous Garmin's is. But my sister had at one time a Fitbit, which I think was a little more accurate. And during the half, we ended up running like 14 and a half
Yeah.
miles. So you are doing a ton of zigzagging. So that's one disadvantage to me. I think that's it for the actual race, right? Did we skip anything?
I think so.
Okay.
Just a lot of maybe muttering and cursing under your breath at
Yeah.
times.
Alright guys, real quick, totally forgot to talk about the balloon ladies. Totally different change of scenery. That's my kitchen. That's my dining room. In case you're wondering where I am. I still don't know where the camera is on this thing, so hopefully I'm looking at it. But when I was talking about how you have to keep a mile requirement, there is a reason for that because they will sweep you. And I think we mentioned being swept before. I mean, we were not, but there were times where we were close. Now, there are these women, I think they're all women, who run at the end of the race. So right at that 60-minute mile mark that are wearing balloons. That's why they're called balloon ladies. And their whole point is essentially to talk about being swept. Is to sweep people. So if you're not running fast enough, they will sweep you. They'll put you on a bus and you go back to the finish line or something. I think you still get your medal, honestly, so that's kind of funny, and that's fine. But so if you hear people talking about the balloon ladies, that's who they're talking about. They're a real thing. They actually have balloons. We saw them during the wine and dine half marathon, and we were like pretty close to them because of how long a bathroom line was. We waited like 15 minutes for our bathroom. So we were like pretty far back, but I would say they're probably a little bit less than a little bit further back than a true 16-minute mile. And they are, they will sweep you super nice though. They're chatty. And then there's also pacing people like there are in most races as well. So there will be someone who's consistently running like a 12-minute mile if you want to pace with them. But the Balloon Ladies, they're notorious. And when my mom and I, in the 10K, the sweep is pretty early. So when my mom and I were running the 10K, it was like right after the 5K mark. And we're like, yes, we didn't get swept. We made it. So they don't sweep like past a certain point. So I feel like if it's the half marathon, I feel like once you get to like the 10 mile, I don't think they really sweep unless you're like really far back. Because at that point you get to mostly like contained area so they don't have to block it. The reason they sweep is because they have to, open the park. So, okay. So that's what the Balloon Ladies are.
Oh, here's another thing. I feel like the running community in general is very supportive, but I think it's extra supportive during Disney races. Like, so many people, like, we met, like, so many people who were, also mom and daughters running who were, like, talking to us. Like, everyone's really chatty, and it's super nice, really supportive. Cast members are really supportive. I actually had a cast member cheering for us, remember, because he knows me from our Disney group, and,
very supportive.
Yeah, it was super nice. So anyway, so then you get towards the end, and there's this part my mom hates, but there's like usually like some sort of really pumping up music towards the end. It's like mile 13 or mile 6.
Yeah, that's why I hate it.
And my mom's always like, this is stupid.
Can't deal with that music on the heat.
And it's like a drums
no, it really is
or a gospel choir,
really
and it's super cool. And then you turn the corner. I think they all end at Epcot. They might not all start, but I'm pretty sure they all end at the same place.
Because they have the bleachers there.
Yeah, and you can see everybody, and you can see the finish line. The finish line is huge, and it's so cool. And we always try to like hold hands for the picture,
never get it
like this.
But they never get it.
And then it's like half of it. It looks stupid, but whatever. Oh, we didn't talk about photos.
Oh yeah.
There are tons of photographers on that race, all over. In the 10K, we were like, oh, there must not be any photographers, and then all of a sudden there are a ton. They base it off your bib number, and then they'll send you an email, or it's on the website very clearly how to find the photos through the My Disney Experience app. So these, I'm not sure if you have to pay for them because we have
like the PhotoPass.
PhotoPass through Animal. We have Memory Maker technically through Annual Pass, so we don't pay for them. Pictures are pretty good. Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people in them, but you get actually like quite a few pictures. So.
And that's when you put the smile on your face.
Yeah, it's so typical though. We're not the only ones that, like, every other person's like, picture. Like, all of a sudden start running again, or you're smiling.
Pretend like you can breathe.
Yeah. So anyway, so at the end, you do that. We didn't get announced, but sometimes they announce your names based on your bib or where you're from. There's a time clock, which is always discouraging because the time clock is from when the race started, not from when you started the race. So you're like, what the heck? It didn't
17 hours?
It didn't take me 2 hours to run this 10K, and that, whatever. So then you get your medals. So when people, and they say this all the time in the pre-show, when people ask you why you do a Run Disney race, like, I feel like people are like, for the medals, because the medals are unreal. So we brought our medals, or we brought them, I should say. I live here, so I have them. They're so heavy and nice, and like they're just really cool to wear around the park. So this one is the Wine and Dine. I don't know if you can see that. This is our Princess half, and then this is our Princess 10K. It's really cool when you run like the challenges and you get your pictures with all your medals. You know, like that. I feel like is literally the only reason I would run a challenge. But the medals are really high quality. Like, I've never gotten a medal this nice in any other race I've ran. They're so cool. I don't know, they're just really cool, and then you can wear them around the park later. Mind you, they're
pictures with characters.
They're super heavy.
They make a big fuss out of it.
Yeah, they do. Everyone's always like, congratulations. And it doesn't matter what distance you run, everyone's super like supportive. They used to not have nice 5K medals or even 10K, but as of last year, they made them all metal, like actual medals. They used to be plastic, so they're like the best part. They're the bling, so they're really cool. And then just to finish up the video, when you finish, you also get Gatorade, cooling towel, and they give you, there's another medical tent, there's sprinklers, like if you're hot, we usually go over to those for a second. And then they give you another, like, I'm talking like a full-size Gatorade, or I should say not Gatorade, it's Powerade, it's Disney. Sorry, Coca-Cola company. They give you a whole bottle and then tons of water. And they give you this These boxes, they're my favorite. They're like boxes of food. Everyone gets them. And they have tons of little snacks in it. So like there's this like cheese. It's plastic cheese. Essentially, for anyone who knows what plastic cheese is at Disney, like Cosmic Grace has it. They have it in the box with nachos. And like no matter how sick I feel, I will be eating that cheese. It's my favorite.
Cool.
And not on the bus when you're not supposed to be eating. I will be eating the cheese.
Everybody's eating.
Yeah.
On the bus.
There's
It says no
what else
eating
is there?
on
There's
the
like
bus.
fruit. I feel like they're always good bananas.
Bananas, yeah. There's some kind of a dessert or
Yeah, some sort of sugar, like chocolatey thing.
or one of those bars, those
Yeah.
Nutri-Grains or something.
We don't eat
We
like
don't eat
really
those.
much of anything in those boxes other than for me the cheese. But they're really cool.
It's time for snacks. This is my favorite, this cheese that we get. You can eat it with both the pretzels and the tortilla chips. There's also banana, there's an applesauce in there. Something else.
It's really not cheese.
No, it's fake cheese. That's the best part.
And then it's really easy to find your bus. So you go back to the exit area. You really get kind of shuffled into this area. This is the same area that you would pick up your bag if you did gear check. It's also the same area that you would meet, like where I met my dad at the end of the race. So all this kind of big parking lot area. They kind of do shuffle you along pretty quickly there. And then right there, you don't have to walk nearly as far as you had to walk when you got dropped off. Thankfully, the bus stops are all right there.
And they're really good about coming.
Yeah, like every 5 to 10 minutes, the bus stop is always going to be the same. So the Expo bus stop, we were always number 4, yellow, and then the same for the race, and then the same for pickup. So it's really easy, and they're marked if you forget what number you are. So, and that's it. They take you back to the hotel. You're like, yes, this day was great. Oh wait, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. We still have a full day ahead of ourselves.
But that's the fun part. It's
Yeah.
over and done.
Yeah. So, anything else, Indica?
Good luck.
So I know this is a super long video, but Run Disney is really complicated. There's a lot of moving parts to it. But if we think of anything, we'll add it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But if you're really on the fence about it, do it.
Yeah.
So
Why not? What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's fun. It's a lot of
your
fun.
body, no.
Good luck if you do.
Yeah, good luck. And we'll be at the Wine and Dine 10K, like I said, in 2019 and the Princess Half in 2020. And so see you there. If you're there, come find us. We're in the last corrals, probably.